And we are back again, once again, for our second and amazing. I already know it's going to be amazing because every time I have a conversation with this man right here, Mr. Tempest, it is always an amazing, great conversation. So without further ado, today we are pretty much just going to be talking about what's been happening in the FGC. Not everything, but, two little tidbits of information as regards to Street Fighter V and King of Fighters 14. So, as far as Street Fighter V goes, we want to pretty much just touch up on two characters that were recently revealed. First, we'll talk about Rashid. Rashid is a homie over in the Middle East. Am I right or am I wrong?
No, you're right. That's Middle Eastern.
Okay, so he's a homie from the Middle East. So this is actually the first character from the Middle East in a Street Fighter game. Am I correct on that as well?
You're also correct.
All right, so far I'm nailing it. So I'm just anticipating my first mistake talking about this guy. But all jokes aside, I mean, I pretty much wanted to wait until after all the 9/11 crap just died away because that was just really annoying and unnecessary. But yeah, if you weren't aware, I mean, obviously the guys from the Middle East and people were just, throwing that, heat at Capcom saying, oh, wow, Capcom, you had to wait until 9/11 to release this kind of character. Like, come on. Are you serious? Like, I didn't even realize that until people were making a big complaint about that. Like, for real.
Yeah, it's one of those things. It's like people will always find something to complain about. And you'll hear me say this again later. But anyway, as of right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, people will always find something to complain about. But honestly, the character looks interesting. He's win-based.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. He's win-based with, like, a lot of different types of, like, utilities as far as his, like, maneuverability, his keep away, all that kind of stuff as far as his fundamentals go with the character. I mean, he looks like he has like a dive kick. He's got like projectiles. He's got a good amount of anti-air options, a bunch of things that, that make a good character a good character. He pretty much has all the necessary tools, if you will. So, I mean, Rashid looks, good. Like, he looks better every time I watch the trailer. And just like looking through these images real quick, like as you guys are watching them right now, I would assume, like he's very like tornado-y, and I guess I can appreciate the fact that he has no reference or any type of hint at using any type of explosives, which is very convenient only because I don't have to look at stupidity as far as people's comments, jokes, what have you. So,
I mean, I'm going to just say he's, with all the wind, he'll be good for people who are trash talkers because, they're full of hot air. So,
there you go. So that's Rashid. Is there anything you wanted to throw in there about Rashid? Anything you thought about him, something like that? Anticipate how he will play into the storyline of Street Fighter?
Storyline wise, I haven't the slightest clue. Maybe he's got some ties with Dawson. I don't know.
Okay. That'd be interesting, actually. I did not even think about that. But
he looks dope. He looks like a homie. So
yeah, I could definitely see myself using this character only because like he has like a lot of cool moves. Like I said, like he's got really good utilities, his tools, all that kind of stuff, like the wind, the cyclones, the twisters, all that stuff. Looked really good, solid character, in and out. He looks pretty quick. Got, some nice little combos, his EX moves, all that stuff. So he's someone I'm definitely going to be trying out once the game comes out, full version. As far as story mode, like where he lies within the story, I feel like he might be a like good character, quote unquote. So
Yeah, he looks like he won't be a villain. So
Yeah, he looks very I don't even know how to put this, like happy or not. I don't even know. Not even happy's like a terrible word to use. He just looks friendly, I guess.
yo, I mean, all I gotta say is, shout outs to Lost because he looks like, he looks like he's that dude, just like our friend from Lost.
Okay. You said Lost. I thought. Okay, there you go. I definitely know what you're talking about now. I only saw the first season of that show, but before we get on to a tangent, anyway, moving on. So yeah, Rashid coming to you, Street Fighter V, PC, PS4 next year at some point. Moving on, this character, Armika, or should I say Rainbow Mika?
Mm-hmm.
She was revealed, I want to say around like August 27th. It was like a little under a month ago. I figured we might as well just throw her into the conversation just to make this little discussion here a little more lengthy. But Armika, I'm actually really excited to have her back again once again. I had to throw that in there. And she looks super fun to play. I mean, she is literally every wrestling fan's dream in a Street Fighter character. Like, forget Zangief and any other grappler that'll do a few German suplexes and throw you up and do some ridiculous pile driver. She does a stone cold stunner, like among other moves. Like, I know that her like ultra finish, which I know is not called ultra finish anymore, but that's just the first thing that came up, in my head. She does like Naomi's freaking booty bounce, like the rear end with her partner. Like that is so freaking cool. Like I was not expecting that to be like, what is it? Like, what is it, like the actual word? Like, is it super art, critical art? Like,
I think it's either super art or something like that. I don't even remember myself. Like,
it might be critical. I don't know.
Or, I don't even know.
Yeah,
but
like either way,
my brain kind of like went dead on that. But,
Yeah, I mean, Armika, like, she's doing like power bombs, drop kicks, all sorts of wrestling maneuvers. And like I said, if you're a wrestling fan, you're going to definitely appreciate the hell out of Armika. And, looking busty as ever. She even does Cesaro's freaking, like, tornado spin thing. I don't even know what it's called, but that is... Like, that's just something that, like, I can see a lot of people using, especially if you're, like, I would not be surprised if K-Brad used Armika just so that, like, the whole Stone Cold thing. Like, that'd be kind of funny to see at tournaments. Like, Stone Cold! Oh, my God! Stunner! Like, that'd be funny. But, yeah, Armika...
Cammy. You know this.
Huh?
He won't abandon Cammy. You know this.
I don't know, dude. Armika is the new truth. I'm telling you right now, but nonetheless, another fun character that I will definitely give a chance once the game comes out. What are your thoughts on Armika?
Okay, so people may not like to hear this, but until I actually saw the videos, I was not on board for Armika at all because I didn't really care for her in Alpha. And I was just like, when people told me she was revealed, I was like, whatever. And then I actually saw the video, and I was like, oh, okay, she has that whole, like, assist character thing going on. I was like, I can get down with that. So, I'm glad it's not, like, another typical grappler, because anybody that knows me knows I have a huge disdain for grapplers.
Well, who doesn't? They're no fun.
I mean, more tolerable grapplers are KOF grapplers, because, they actually have combos and they're kind of cool.
Yeah. But, yeah, I mean, not for anything. Japanese players, dude, I played a bunch of grapplers over there, and man, it was not fun. It was not fun. Had a very tough time. But I will say this, I will add that I was actually also kind of happy to hear about her reveal because I understand that Armika is one of Ono's like favorite characters, right?
Probably.
Yeah, so I was just like, I was happy that he must have been really happy that she was back again once again. So just for that on principle, I was like, oh man, that's great. I'm so happy for Ono, even though it's his own game. But you know, it's all good. But yeah, so there you go. Armika back again once again. Street Fighter V. Street Fighter V will be coming out next year at some point for the PC and PS4. And if you didn't already know, those two versions will be a cross-platformable, meaning that if I had PS4 version and Bobby had the PC version, we could play against each other. So that's all good. Yeah. So any last words regarding Street Fighter V, Rashid and Armika?
I mean, hey, test them out, man, because they both look like interesting characters. It looks like the whole roster's interesting so far. So I say it's gonna be a lot of variety and a lot of knowing matchups now. More people are gonna know this stuff.
Yeah, I'm not. You know what? Now that you mention that, I will actually add that this game is actually looking very balanced. I mean, it's kind of hard to say as of right now, since you know the game is not even in full beta or anything like that, or you know, like we're not even getting close to the actual release of the game itself. But you know, not for anything. I mean, just looking at the roster right now and just how the characters are playing out. No one has really found anything busted about the game yet, but you know you have to take that with a grain of salt. I mean, it is kind of early, but it is something to think about and keep in mind that hey, like this game is looking pretty balanced so far. So you know, hopefully it stays that way and we don't get like Super Street Fighter V and all these other crazy additions, Rainbow Street Fighter V. So.
Well, I mean, Capcom already went on record saying it's only gonna be one iteration, so.
But they said that about 4 after Super happened.
Well, there's a difference, though. It was after it happened. See, this is like well before. Okay. They had already put out a version, so.
Well, we'll see. We'll see.
But speaking of things in Street Fighter V, for those that didn't know, there's a nice little bit of information about people who are DP happy, or for those who don't know what a DP is, Dragon Punch or
Shoryuken.
And I'm looking at you, Ken and Ryu players. So when a Dragon Punch is an invincible reversal is blocked, the first attack to punish the move will be an automatic counter hit. And let's see. And so far, since they were doing the stream on the new build, they said based on the information from the stream, it only works for meterless reversals at the moment. That I'm actually kind of glad that's that way. That's a little too much damage if it's metered reversal. But you know, shout outs to Event Hubs for that one.
Yeah, definitely.
And the other thing is, and I'm pretty sure, I mean, if Uchi can get the gift that they have for that, you can actually do some really interesting setups with it, especially for oh my god, I forgot the word I was looking for. The critical hit thing.
Oh, the super something?
No. Hold on, I'll check the word. But it's just like there's a oh my god. Whatever.
Well,
it's the critical hit. But yeah.
But yeah, I'll include the link to the Event Hub page post in the description below for you guys to see that GIF. Because after seeing it, it made a lot more sense. Because I'm a visual learner anyway, so I mean that's the best way. So I will include that for all you visual folks as well.
Oh yeah, the crush. That's what it was.
The crush. Okay, there you go. All right. So lastly, before we close off this portion of our thoughts on FGC's related things, King of Fighters, Sega, or no, sorry, not Sega, SNK surprised us this morning, right? And they released a teaser trailer for King of Fighters 14. Now, I will not lie to you guys. I can't even really call myself a true King of Fighters fan. Although, I mean, even though I own 12 and 13, but that doesn't mean anything because the real ones I hear are 98 and, you know, all the older ones.
2002 UM.
Yeah. So King of Fighters 14 back again once again for the PS4 exclusive, might I add. So the PlayStation, Sony is definitely lining up their fighters for the PS4, and I'm actually kind of happy that that's happening because right now outside of the PlayStation 4, the only other fighter that's on another console is like there's like Killer Instinct on Xbox One, and there's like Yata Garasu, that's PC, so it's like Street Fighter 5 is also on PC, that's crossplay. I don't know. But yeah, King of Fighters 14, they really did not reveal too much, obviously, because it was a teaser. But it looks like there's a brand new character, or am I wrong? Because that guy, I've never seen him in all the
That was Kyo.
That's Kyo?
Yeah, the guy in the white. Yeah, that was Kyo.
What? They changed his... Okay, I don't like it anymore.
Well, no. See, here's the... I mean, they always change Kyo's look. That's the thing. Like, Kyo is almost like how Ryu never looks the same in every Street Fighter.
That's crazy. All right, you actually know what? He kind of looks cool, though, because I didn't realize that was him. That didn't look like him at all. No, for real, though.
I definitely look like him.
Dude, I'm looking at him right now, and I'm just like, there's no way that's Kyo. I literally, if I bet on this, I would have lost so much money because that to me does not look like Kyo at all. But I will also mention this in relation to what I'm saying. It was kind of hard to depict this character to actually be Kyo and not a brand new character because of the fact that a lot of jokes and memes are going around already about this teaser, and people are basically poking fun at the fact that this game doesn't even look to be matched up to today's standards as far as like graphics and like, I mean, you know, we can easily compare this to Street Fighter 4. I mean, Street Fighter 4, when they made the jump from Third Strike to Street Fighter 4, graphically the whole game changed dramatically into like the 2.5D game, and you know, now even with Street Fighter 5, like they've kept that plane, except they've managed to still somehow enhance their graphics to make the game, the fighters, the arenas look amazing and beautiful. Well, with King of Fighters 14, as you can see on these screenshots, they don't really look very updated. As a matter of fact, they look very PS2 pushing PS3 graphics right now, which, I mean, isn't something that you can totally bank on to, to say that this game is going to be crappy in the long term, because for all we know, this game could be amazing, because as long as the mechanics, gameplay is solid, that's really all that matters. But, people will obviously complain about why the hell in this day and age, 2016 at the time that this releases, why can't they get the engine right and, make their game, look up to the standard that Street Fighter has set out. I mean, not even just Street Fighter. I mean, look at Tekken. Like, Tekken's been rolling with the Real Engine, Unreal Engine 4, making their game look amazing. And that's a 3D game. That's completely different. But
yeah, well, I mean, KOF hasn't really ventured into the 3D realm as much as Street Fighter had previously. They did 3 games in 3D, the EX series 1, 2, and 3. And each game got progressively better. The first one looking like Final Fantasy VII graphics. And then, it's smoothed out with the second and third.
Right.
I mean, all we have before was pretty much Maximum Impact. And, it wasn't terrible, but, it wasn't great either. Honestly, again, people will find any reason to complain. This is more than likely just the alpha build.
Right.
And that's the thing, like, everybody wants to complain, and perfect example, they complained about Street Fighter 5 when it came out, and they were like, oh my god, the graphics don't even look as good as Street Fighter 4's graphics. And now everybody's like, oh my god, this game looks beautiful. You know, when Street Fighter Cross Tekken came out, they were like, "Oh my God, this game is gonna play exactly like Street Fighter 4," and yeah, they were dead wrong on that one. And then they were like, "Oh my God, the DLC characters are already finished," and they were also dead wrong on that one. You know, Filipino Champ was like, "I don't even need to play Persona 4 because the game is crap," and everybody was like, "Oh my God, Filipino Champ is right," and of course they were dead wrong about that. So it's just like, you know what I mean? It's like there's a hive mentality, and people always want to think the worst of everything. So it's like, you know, stop thinking the worst. Be happy that we're actually getting KOF 14, and it's not a pachinko machine. You know what I mean? Like, or like a mobile game or something along those lines. It's an actual game, and you know, trust that SNK will at least pull something out. Like, I don't want to lean one way or the other just yet, but I don't really think it's all that bad.
Yeah, I mean, you know, not for anything. I mean, now that they have revealed that this game is happening, you know, now all I ask, like, it's funny because I'm not even asking any questions about the game itself. I'm now looking even further into the future, and I'm just asking, so are we gonna get an SNK versus Capcom 3? Because that's all I care about. Like, that's really all I care about. Because, and that's actually, I could have sworn, I don't remember who or where I seen this, but it was almost like, I really wish I remember where, but someone or something said that the only reason why that game hasn't happened is because Capcom is waiting for SNK to meet up to their standards as far as the graphics and all that kind of stuff goes.
Yeah, I was just about to say that maybe that's the biggest reason why, you know, they decided to wait on this whole thing and try to do the 3D route, because it's possible. It really is possible that they're just like, hey, let's make a 3D game so we can get this done with, and we can make CVS3 and Capcom can handle that, and maybe we can get SVC Chaos too. I hope not.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Don't say that.
That game is so busted.
I love that game though. It's so freaking awesome. But alright, but going back to what we were talking about, I mean, like, honestly, like, there is no reason why SNK should not be able to, like, you know, meet up to the standards at this point in time. I mean, we are in 2015, and I'm not even gonna lie, like, the way the teaser was shown, it really did not, it didn't, aside from getting all the true King of Fighter fans, like, extremely hyped just to the fact that there's a new King of Fighters game coming out, everyone else I saw it was very displeased and very, like, there was a lot of just, like, distaste with this trailer. And it's a shame because it's like, as a fighting game fan, I want to see every game flourish. Like, I don't want to see like a fighting game suck or anything like that for whatever reason. So and graphics is something that I believe in this day and age should not even be an issue. So it's like, to me, I see this game and I'm just like, why? Like, why have you guys not gotten the formula yet? Like we are like Capcom started this is in like what, 2007, 2008 with Street Fighter 4, like the vanilla Street Fighter 4, and we are now like almost a decade later, and they still haven't gotten it right. Like, I really hope they take everyone's comments, because there's no way they can avoid seeing what people have to say about their trailer.
I mean, again, remember, people jumped down Capcom's throat for the graphics of Street Fighter 5, talking about how it looks worse than Street Fighter 4. How can Capcom do this? And then everybody jumped on the Capcom hate train, and it's like, then all of a sudden it's like, well, it is an alpha build. I wouldn't, we're trying to make everything work. Honestly, like, keep in mind, SNK's been quiet for so long. Remember, like, 3 years ago, they were trying to hire, or 2 years ago, something like that. They tried to hire, like, 3D model people. They put it out there for a job description for that, and I'm pretty sure they've been working on mechanics and trying to figure out how they want to step into the 3D realm for this new game, and they started on models, and they probably used their old 3D models as a basis and came up with new designs. Keep in mind, SNK does that. Like, even with their 2D sprites, they start with their old sprites as a basis, and then
Okay.
eventually they upscale it. So I imagine it's like, well, we have new designs, so we're gonna use this, and then when as we reveal more, you'll see the upscaled. And I honestly think that's what's gonna happen. So
Yeah.
I've noticed a lot of people do that. Like they'll have like the first teaser, and people are like, graphically it doesn't look so great, and it's like it's just a teaser. Like nobody worried about
Yeah.
this pre PlayStation 3, Xbox 360 era. Like, man, even with PS2, people would look at it and be like, yo, this game is hype, and that's all they cared about. It's like now everybody's like, oh my god, the graphics look terrible. Well, who cares?
Well, because it's different times, like people have like I totally get what you're saying, and I agree with everything that you're saying, but it's just that the mentality now is that it's like obviously people back then, looking forward to a game that was coming out on PS2 when PS2 was the dominant console in its time, and like obviously people were gonna just get hyped for it just because of the fact that it was happening. But now you have two systems later, 2015, 2016, PS4 is the dominant system for fighting games, at least right now. And like, you're seeing games like even Guilty Gear that they don't have to meet, Capcom standard where the 2.5D is, almost looking 3D. They kept their game looking like a Guilty Gear game, like Blaze Blue, Persona, like all, like even Yatagarasu, like they stay true to their anime looks, and people respect that. People still like it, and those games will be safe for the remainder of their lifespans, so long as they keep coming out and people keep playing them.
Let's keep in mind, Guilty Gear did step into the 2.5.
Yeah.
With Xrd,
but like
and
it still looks very Guilty Gear-ish.
Well,
though.
The thing about it is people complained about how it looked when it came out, when they first revealed what the game was looking like.
Yeah.
And again, they were pleased with the end result, and that's the whole point. Like, you can't just assume that the first thing that you see is exactly what it's going to look like the whole way through.
No, you're right. You're right. Yeah.
I mean, it's like, it's like, would you rather see progression, or would you rather see what we got with the Final Fantasy VII demo when the PS3 came out, and they were just using it to, yeah,
you're right. Oh, but you know what? Now that you mentioned it, I do actually want to throw in, if people totally forgot, and I feel like I hate when I feel like in a world where the internet is just so dominant and everyone's on it, like everyone just forgets things. And I really feel like I'm the only person that remembers any of this. Do you remember when they released the teaser for Street Fighter Cross Tekken? I personally felt like it looked better during the teaser, and then they changed the graphics. And I'm like, does everyone totally forget how it looked when it first was revealed? Like, it looked way better. It looked like a Street Fighter 4. And now, and then when the full game came out, it looked more, I want to say, like comic-y. Like, it had its 2.5, like almost 3D look, but it felt like very outlined. And you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I mean, I think again, it's one of those things, like, you can't trust the alpha build.
Right, exactly.
Don't trust the alpha build, and that's the thing. Like, it needed its own style, it needed its own thing, and that's probably why everybody was like, oh, it's just gonna be Street Fighter 4. I can play it like a Street Fighter 4. It's like, no, you can't. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, see, there you go. So, with that all being said, I guess what we're obviously trying to say is, do not knock King of Fighters 14 just yet, just off of a stupid little teaser, because we will definitely be giving this game a chance. I will most likely be picking this game up for stream and possibly future tournaments. Who knows? But that all being said, let us know what you guys think. Comments below. Please share the video, like, and subscribe if you already haven't. This has been Uchi with my mans Tempest, and we will be back again once again with another My Thoughts videos and other videos in the future. So if you would like to throw out any last tidbits of whatever you feel like, the floor is now yours.
Nothing really. I mean, he pretty much said everything. But keep an eye out. We got stuff coming through the tubes.
Oh yeah, we definitely do. So we will see you guys later.
Deuces.